Nation. I'm Brandon Marianne Lee. I am here with the Howard Bender. You can follow him on Twitter at RotoBuzzGuy. What up, Howard?
Yo, what up, Brandon? How are ya? I'm ready. It's been such a chaotic last 36 hours, and I mean, let's face it. It's all about Jalen Samuels, Jeff Wilson. Who else are we talking about here?
Oh,
We're talking
Beckham
about
all of a sudden not playing.
Oh
Whatever.
no, Beckham's not playing.
Whatever.
Cortland Sutton's the big man on campus now for Denver. Yeah, the Justin Jackson Austin Eckler split here. Where's that going to go for this game against the Bengals? So it has been a tumultuous last 3 days, 4 days.
I'm raging. I mean, I have leagues where I have had Melvin Gordon, Kareem Hunt, Emmanuel Sanders, Odell Beckham. I mean, and I didn't have all of them in one, but I did have at least 3 of those 4 and a lot of the ones going into the playoffs.
Well, it's a good thing you started doing your prep work in June, Brandon, because that's clearly helping you out right now.
Right. And good thing everyone drafted 1 million best ball leagues in June, because I'm sure all of those were educated decisions.
Yeah. I scanned through all my best balls. I was like, wow, this is just
some of these teams.
This is just disgusting.
I'm doing kind of well because as a Denver fan, I did get Philip Lindsay in my last couple rounds in a lot of best ball leagues. And this is why I know this sounds crazy, but every once in a while you should engage your Homer friends just to hear the random names they mention in those really deep best ball leagues. That is actually where you do profit the most from these things, is that you can get those guys, because I knew that Cortland Sutton was getting incorporated immediately. And I also knew that Philip Lindsay was impressing, and most people didn't even know who he was. And so I was like, you know what? It's the last round. No one's out here. I would just throw them in. Also, because it is nice to have good people on your team from your home team too. People always say, oh, don't be a homer. And I think, yes, don't be a homer in an idiot way, but do be a homer in terms of research for those deep guys that actually might be where you get the most value. So anyway, we're talking week 14. It's playoffs. Everything's crazy. So we're just going to get to your questions. We got a ton of them already. We're super pumped. We are live on Periscope/Twitter, Facebook Live, YouTube, fantasyalarm.com. And by the way, at the end of this chat, our feed, if we have not got your question for whatever reason, you can always go to fantasyalarm.com, and we have a chat section, and we always answer all the questions. It's bam, 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 pew, pew, pew. So here we go. We're gonna get to it right now.
Wait, can you shoot that gun again? I just want to hear with the. Yeah, that's right.
It's a wimpy gun, but it's a gun.
It's like a ray gun. It wasn't like a regular.
I'm all about peace, love, and harmony, baby. So my gun's a little just silly. Okay, that's but our other gun.
My guns are right here.
Yeah, they could be like this. Boom. That's a cannon. Anyway. Let's put it this way. I'm not really up on my gun sounds. 1 point PPR. Spencer Ware, Wilson, or we're already getting somebody. I have to scroll down. Carson.
I think I would probably go with Wilson here, just as the featured back in San Francisco. He caught 8 passes last week. Had himself. I mean, he's the featured guy here. Carson. I dig Carson a lot. I don't love the matchup against Minnesota. I don't know if the dislocated finger, yes, it's healing and whatnot, and it's going to be wrapped, but is that going to affect his ability to catch passes? Maybe he gets, 13 to 15 carries, but against this Minnesota D, I worry about that.
I worry too. I really worried, though, that this Wilson guy is going to be a meh against the Broncos, because I don't know. The only thing that's helping Wilson, frankly, is that Emmanuel Sanders is out, so the game script may not get out of control, which is good. So right. I'm okay with Wilson. Although, there's only one time all year that Carson has been healthy and not gone over 100 yards and or scored a touchdown, regardless of matchup. So he's the solid choice, but the upside choice is Wilson. PPR Eckler, AP, Godwin, Traquan need one running back and one flex. I think you have to flex Godwin, right? With Deshaun Jackson out. So then we need a running back between Eckler and AP, which, by the way, again, I'm going to say that again. You have to play Chris Godwin with Deshaun Jackson out against New Orleans Saints. We're going to be probably saying that all week. So Eckler or AP?
I'm going to have to go with Eckler here. I think the Giants' run defense is terrible. However, I think the offensive line for the Redskins is even worse. And I think that with Sanchez under center, you've got a much greater chance of the Giants just stacking the box. So Eckler, I think, will get the work.
Also, I'll say this. Who's going to get closer to an end zone? Eckler or AP? I mean, I'm sorry, but the problem is that Mark Sanchez isn't even going to get them near a goal post. Okay, nowhere at all.
You don't even need it. Adrian Peterson runs 90-yard touchdowns all the time, Brandon. 90-yard touchdowns.
And then 8 yards the rest of the game. So, you know what? Whatever. That's life. I just think when you are debating between two players, I always kind of come back to the better offense and the better quarterback, even if they're a running back, because it's important. Also, Eckler's involved with the passing game, and I think this is going to be just a decimation of the Cincinnati Bengals. Goff or Wilson? Great question. So Goff is playing against the Chicago Bears. The Bears' tough defense is going to be chilly. Wilson is just a stud in the back half of every season, playing against the Minnesota Vikings at home. So I think I go Wilson here.
I think you just answered the question right there. I agree. Wilson for me as well.
By the way, Hart Goff. There's nothing against Goff here. I still think he'll be fine, but to me, there's just too many questions. Wilson is just, I don't know, you guys, playing out of his mind. People aren't talking about it enough. Playing out of his mind. PPR, need 3. Get your pencil, Howard. This guy, Rowdy357 actually said, "Get your pencil, Howard." Yes, that is a listener right there. Thank you.
Is that Ann? Is that Ann? Ann, are you hitting me up like this? Come on, Ann.
Get your pencil, Howard.
All right.
Need 3. All right, Jalen Samuels.
Wait a second. All right, Samuels. Yep.
Chris Carson. Peyton Barber.
Ugh.
Naeem Hines.
Ew.
And Curtis Samuel.
Gross.
People are giving me Samuel in the same question again. You guys, you learned from last time. I will probably set up. So
I actually
Samuel's is Sam. I
actually had a guy who tweeted at me and left the he added the S accidentally to Samuels, and I was like, "How is Jalen Samuels available? Go ahead, pick him up, Boba." And he noted the fact. He's like, "Oh, yeah, that S isn't supposed to be there. I know.
People keep making typos. So if you're typoing, I'm probably just going to read it, by the way, you guys. It will not be my fault. I'm trying to figure out how to say both of these things at the same time. It's, everyone's messing it up. But this one did it correctly. So thank you, Rowdy357. But who would you like the 3 out of those? To me, I think you have to do Samuels and Carson.
Yes, agreed.
And then it's between Barber, Hines, and Samuel. Without an S.
So I guess I'm just going to go Barber and hope that Tampa Bay gets down inside the 5. I mean, they've been giving him those goal line carries, so you might as well take that shot with him. I think that's really – Naeem Hines is going to play behind Marlon Mack. He's going up against the Texans' defense. Listen, I get it that if the edge rushers over pursue and they get too aggressive there, then they can be beaten with the short screen pass. However, I just don't see – that really being the game plan here for the Colts. And then Curtis Samuel, has anybody tried to watched Cam Newton try and throw a football lately? I mean, that's worrisome.
It's not good.
No, it's really not. And I worry that, guys like DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel who run those shorter routes, and Cam is supposed to zip it in. I'm wondering if that's going to be an issue here.
Yeah. I'm worried about it. I would also say that I just feel like the Carolina Panthers going up against the Browns is the probably diciest matchup for me in terms of deciding who I want to play on both sides of the ball. I'm not entirely sure who I like and don't like. First of all, because there are 7 players on the Cleveland Browns who have caught 2 touchdowns on the season, but no one's caught more than that. So they just spread it around. So we can't so in terms of like a GPP or something, if you were throwing a dart, then yeah, you would get a cheapo, Rashard Higgins or Antonio Callaway and hope that he's the guy, right?
Right.
But then it's like, I mean, who else is out there that I trust? I don't trust anyone. So anyway, I just feel like this whole matchup, I feel weird about. It's very mediocre in terms of like the implied totals, 24, 23. Like everything's just kind of like mediocre. So I'm kind of avoiding that game if I can. I feel like someone's going to emerge, but I just don't know who. Other than, of course, Christian McCaffrey. I mean, duh. And Nick Chubb. Duh. Okay. Non-PPR. This is from Facebook. We got David Stallman here. What up? I win and I'm in. We got Brait or Burton. That's the first question.
I'll go Brait.
Yeah, I agree. Need one from Cohen, Ware, Eckler, Pettis.
Well, it's down to Cohen and Eckler for me. I think that those are the two guys who are probably going to touch the ball the most. Mm-hmm. The question is how do you feel about the Rams defense going up against Tariq Cohen and really kind of game planning for him in that sense? I feel like Sean McVay would do something like that, just knowing that Matt Nagy favors Cohen over Howard. So is Eckler going to be the guy? I mean, I know that he's starting, but obviously he's going to stay as the pass catcher there. So, I mean, it's down to those two for me, Brandon. I'll let you make that final decision.
Mm-hmm. I would go Cohen. I don't think you can stop him. He does too many things. Right. And he just does one play and he gets a touchdown. Eckler, I think could be huge. I agree with you. I am a little worried that they actually save Eckler and use a little Justin Jackson action because I think they get up big against the Bengals. So I'm a little worried about that. But I think they're both great plays. I feel fine about it. Playoffs. Thanks, Selena. Jared Corey says Jalen Samuels or Cooks, then Josh Allen or Cam. This is a PPR league. Thank you. You're welcome.
Jalen Samuels or Brandon Cooks?
Yep.
Okay, I'm just making sure because there's Cooks, there's Samuel and Samuels.
I know. It's the worst. So they added an S here. So if they jacked up, that's their issue. I think I might go Samuels to be safe.
Probably going to touch the ball more. No, I mean, it's really like Jared Goff in the cold weather in Chicago. The way this Bears defense is playing right now, they're super pumped up for this. I mean, to have a home game, as meaningful and as important as this, because, I mean, the Bears could lock down the North and really set themselves aside, because I think they're like one of those, dark horse teams for the Super Bowl come out of the NFC.
Completely, yeah.
Just because, listen, what happens with the Saints? What happens with the Rams when they go up against a big defense like this? It's going to be a great preview game, to say the least.
I also like that Trubisky's back this week, too. I think they're going to play with a little pep in their step. So I agree with you. I love Brandon Cooks. I just think Jared Goff's going to be under pressure the whole game. The whole game. I'm going to feel bad for him, which is why I'm kind of stepping away from him if I have a better option. Obviously, he's fantastic. I don't want to be a moron here. I still think they're going to get some things done, but I could see this being a little bit more of a Robert Woods game because he's a little shiftier. He kind of does everything. Mm-hmm. Brandon Cooks has a role and he's great at it, and that's not a knock. But I think they know how to defend against Brandon Cooks. I think Robert Woods is a little more all over the place, which is why I like Cohen too. In these kind of matchups, I like the guys that can do everything because there's going to be a play where they're going to get involved. Something will happen. They won't be able to shut them down completely, which is where I kind of am at here.
What was the second part of that question? Was the Samuels Cooks?
Good thing you reminded me. Josh Allen or Cam Newton?
Oh, Josh Allen here. I mean, listen,
how sad.
I'm not flipping out about how awesome Josh Allen is. 234 rushing yards in the last two games. The only reason I'm talking about him, I mean, aside from Cam's shoulder being disgusting, is that it is the Jets. And the Jets are giving up like 150 yards per game on the ground right now. They had that monumental collapse against the Titans, who didn't even use Derrick Henry to beat them. That was
Derrick Henry, the worst play that you could have made that actually worked out for you. Like, who on earth? And then people are like, I mean, I want to find the fantasy analyst who suggested to play Derrick Henry against the Jags because that's someone I want to follow. I'm like, no, actually, it isn't because they were playing the Jags and it was Derrick Henry. And he's been terrible all the time. Just because it worked out doesn't mean it was the right call. But congratulations to you. Find that person. You go. You do you. Do I trust Baldwin will play or start Ridley or Anthony Miller? I would not trust Baldwin to play. I think you need to go with someone else. Or I wouldn't expect him to be 100%. Maybe I should put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would probably go with Ridley here, just to try for the upside play here for Atlanta. I don't love Matt Ryan in that weather. I will say this: if David Moore is available, I would pick up David Moore and then use him on the Monday night game if that's possible.
I agree. If you can do that, that'd be awesome. That's the problem with these Monday night games, though. And here's the deal. The Seattle Seahawks are kind of in the driver's seat to make the playoffs right now. So they need this one against the Vikings, but I think they're going to do it with their defense. And then they're going to continue the way that they play offense. But they've been fine without Doug Baldwin on offense. So I don't think it really affects them offensively. And I think they may think that they want to have him for the playoffs. So that would be my only fear with Doug Baldwin's playing is if they're like, I think we got this. And then they're like, let's not push it. And if they actually, and listen, they're a fourth quarter team. We all know that. That's famous. They're famous for that. But still, I think that there's a possibility that they have this team in hand because Kirk Cousins, a little worried about him. What a disappointment. I mean, like
horrible disappointment, right?
I mean, just a shocking. I don't think we talk about it enough. He has the best wide receiver set in the National Football League. Okay, like basically by any metric that you look at here, and he can't get it done. There's a possibility that the Broncos make the playoffs and the Vikings don't. Let that sink in. That doesn't mean that Case Keenum is better than Kirk Cousins. Obviously, I'm not a moron. But my point is that should have been a slam dunk. They are not a slam dunk to get into the playoffs, which is unbelievable.
I think Cousins has just been vastly overrated over the years. I mean, I really do. I think everybody thinks that, that you like that Kirk Cousins is like the real deal. And that's not who he is. He's not that come from behind type guy. Not at all.
He can be. He's incredibly inconsistent. On a game-to-game basis, you have no idea which Kirk Cousins is coming up. And I don't know who's going to play against Seattle in prime time. So I'm a little worried.
I'd still start Cousins over Lamar Jackson, though, I'll tell you that.
I would, too. I'm not even quite sure Lamar Jackson's going to play that whole game. I mean, because if Joe Flacco's back and they see something they don't like, and this is a very intense game in Kansas City, and that doesn't mean they won't even go back to Lamar Jackson. I'm not even saying that. What I'm saying is if they're both available, they've shown that they switch them in and out. So I could see that happening today. I'm a little worried about Lamar Jackson. I'm not gonna lie. Trusting Matt Ryan today, or do I go with Russell Wilson or Josh Allen? Russell Wilson always. I don't understand the question. Also, do you like Hilton or Diggs today in a full point PPR? Great question.
Diggs. I'll go with Diggs. He got clearance the other day. The knee is much better. I think he is perfectly capable of handling the workload. It's going to help open things up in that Minnesota passing game. I mean, T.Y. Hilton, he's the only receiver they've got. I feel like they're just kind of not so much forcing him in there, but I think that they're letting him play at like 70% as opposed to 100% because they really, if you take Hilton out, there are no other receivers there because Dontrell Inman's out also, which means that they're going back to Chester Rogers, who, yeah, fine, if you want to use him as a dart throw, sure, but I don't dig it. I'll go Diggs here.
I feel great about Hilton if it was another person. That's why you always have to tell us who else. When people are like, is so-and-so a good play today? It's like, maybe. Who are you talking about instead? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
Would you start Phillip Rivers today?
Yeah. Sure.
Over who?
Yeah, exactly. And these are all, obviously primo players. And so it's important that we put them in context. But for me, if Minnesota has a chance against Seattle, Diggs has a big game tonight. or on Monday night. That's just the way that it's going to work for them. There is no other option. They have to use both Diggs and Thielen to be able to move the ball. Also, a weird player is Dalvin Cook. I don't know who he is. He has no identity to me whatsoever. A guy that we all took at the end of the first, beginning of the second round, and who has been just really frustrating. But you know what? Everyone has been frustrating. We don't even have Odell Beckham this week, so I'm just out on like everybody. So basically, I'm grumpy. You guys,
it's so funny. Like I said, I said it the other day. I'm like, we went through right on Thursday's live stream. I'm like, it's been the worst 7 days in fantasy football, and then boom, what happens on the 8th day? Derrick Henry rushes for 4 touchdowns there. What happens after that? Odell Beckham's out for this week. I mean, it's been really just piling on here at the end of the year. It's awful.
I blame Hanukkah. It ends today.
Blame Hanukkah.
It's in the Hanukkah curse.
Jews as a scapegoat?
No, no.
I think you just use the Jews as a scapegoat.
No, I'm saying it's been beautiful, and then the only thing that's been bad has been the freaking fantasy football. The Hanukkah time period has been the worst time period in fantasy football history. It actually marks it exactly.
Maybe it's because stores are playing Christmas music too early. Maybe that's what it is.
Oh, no. You're getting no fight from me on that. And by the way, if you put up things before Thanksgiving, you're out. Unfollow.
Oh, my God.
If you put up anything before Thanksgiving, you have officially entered my no. People that do it before Halloween.
The Jewish Anti-Defamation League just followed Fantasy Alarm on Twitter.
Oh my God, stop it. I'm telling you though, my girlfriend was just like, so I have a girlfriend who is like #1 in all of her leagues, and she has 4 people that are all out and they don't have IR spots. And so she
got no bench.
She has no bench. And it was funny. She was like, so it's the last night of Hanukkah, right? So she was like, so I had this dinner and I'm like, I just sitting there and she's planning this thing. And she's like, and all I'm thinking about is how I have no one to play in fantasy football while she's prepping stuff. And she was like, this was the worst week ever because the whole time I was doing all this stuff and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get to my computer.
Right? So anyway. It's like a nightmare. It's like a nightmare if you didn't get, or you know what? You know what's even worse is that if you're on a bye week and you weren't like really paying attention to everything that's going on, like all of a sudden now you're like, oh damn, everybody just picked everybody else off of waivers.
You could have 4 people right now on your bench if you don't have IR spots. And again, this is the moment to call your commissioner and be like, can we vote on IR spots next year? Please get IR spots. Guys, are you tired of trying to win on daily fantasy sites? And they're like huge and they've got multi-entries and that. There is a really fun game, you guys. I don't know if you've checked it out. It's called Prize Picks. It's just a simple, fast way to play DFS. Simply just choose the over-under on the projected points for that player. You don't compete against thousands of pros. There's no finding those minimum value plays. You just win with Prize Picks by picking against the projections. You could even do cross-sport things where you could take like the under on LeBron, the over on Todd Gurley. It's awesome. Prize Picks is daily fantasy simplified. So go and check it out today. Okay. Sorry, I lost my place. Trubisky against the Rams or Lamar Jackson against Kansas City? For me, it's Trubisky.
For everybody, it should be Trubisky.
All right, I like it. Because Trubisky's going to have to play decent football against the Rams, even if the Rams shut down the even if the Bears shut down the Rams a little bit, because even shutting down the Rams a little bit, they still score a lot of points. So
they do, don't they?
How to do those things. It's like shutting down Kansas City. You still got to score points. PPR.
Right, you still got to put up 35 to win.
I mean, don't worry. You shutting them down means they're in the 30s instead of 50s. I mean, they're nuts. PPR, Kenny Golladay, Tyler Boyd, or Zay Jones for my number 3. Thank you as always.
I'll go Boyd just for the volume that he's going to see in this one. I think Cincinnati's got to catch up. Listen, for anybody who's asking a question about Kenny Golladay, all right, he is the lead receiver for the Detroit Lions. Matthew Stafford not doing too well, and Kenny Golladay is going to get the Patrick Peterson shadow. So if you're asking me any questions about whether Golladay is the starter or somebody else, I'm always going to go to somebody else.
Yeah.
Always.
Should I move Lutz out of my lineup because of the nasty weather in Tampa?
I don't do kicker questions. Put your big kid pants on and pivot away if you have to.
I do kicker questions, and I say pick up Alder Phillips from the New York Giants. I think you could also pick up what was I thinking?
Chandler Catanzaro, who's filling in for Carolina.
I would not do that. I don't do fill-in kickers, but I think I also don't hate Will Lutz, but I just think a lot of people don't have the Giants kicker on the radar, and you should. Need 2 wide receivers and a flex PPR. Edelman.
Let me get that pen. Here we go. Edelman.
Yep. Lockett.
Love him.
Humphreys.
Love him.
Justin Jackson.
Love
I think
him.
they're the 3 receivers.
Yeah, I'm going Lockett, Humphreys, and Jackson. You want to go Edelman over Jackson?
Yeah.
All right. So we're a little split there. 3 receivers from Brandon. I'm going to go Jackson over Edelman there.
I'm a little worried that the Chargers are playing games with us, and Jackson doesn't get as much work as people want him to.
I'm a little teapot.
We're gonna bust into tunes here in a minute. I would say this. I just don't know if I can sit Adam Humphreys against the Saints with Deshaun Jackson out. So this is my problem. And then I don't know if I can sit Tyler Lockett ever. As you know, I've been playing him all season, and that hasn't done me wrong yet. And then in terms of Julian Edelman, I think they need him this whole game. And in terms of consistency, that's what this guy's got. I know that Miami is Tom Brady's kryptonite, and everyone's worried that I just don't trust Miami, so I don't care.
Who are you impersonating there?
I don't know.
That's great.
I'm really bad at impersonations.
I dig it.
Okay. Goff, Trubisky, or Russell Wilson?
Goff, Trubisky, or Russell Wilson? If I can only have one, I am going with Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
I like Trubisky. Yeah. I do.
Yeah.
I definitely do.
I'll tell you what, if any of those guys outscore Russell Wilson, I get it, but I just think Russell Wilson has the highest floor maybe in the National Football League.
Ding, 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 ding. Winner, winner, winner.
Winner. Would you play Adam Humphreys over Golladay? Yes.
I wouldn't even think twice about it.
Agreed. Guys, Adam Humphreys is so good. He's one of the highest wide receivers in the last 4 weeks, you guys. Like, we're talking like up there with Antonio Brown numbers. I mean, in terms of like volume, fantasy points, and PPR settings, et cetera, et cetera. You guys, it's been nuts. Like, look at the stats. I don't know how you didn't play him. And Deshaun Jackson's out now. I mean, it's like even more. There's actually a possibility for more.
So PJ Williams and Eli Apple are 2 of like Apple's average to below average. PJ Williams is garbage. If you had to make a comparison of like a team to a person, PJ Williams is like the New York Jets of cover corners. Mm-hmm. All right, so trashy, so garbage, so awful. That I mean, how is he going to handle Adam Humphreys today? I don't see that at all. Like I see Marshawn Lattimore on top of Mike Evans the entire time, and I see Godwin and Humphreys and Brate being the 3 beneficiaries of that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Good morning, Goff or Rodgers.
How do you not go Aaron Rodgers here? Unless you're talking about Superflex and it's Chester Rodgers. But I mean, no.
Yeah, but I get it. I mean, Goff's been a better play than Rodgers. Rodgers is playing against Atlanta Falcons, so I certainly don't have a fear there. Yeah, so that's why we're going to go with Aaron Rodgers here. But I'm going to be honest with you. Every other week, you probably should have started Goff. And this is why you wait on quarterbacks. And I want to stress this again, you guys. When you come to me next year and say, but I should have drafted Deshaun Watson in the 3rd round. It's not that these players are bad. It's just that so many quarterbacks put up 20-plus points a week. It just doesn't differentiate you enough. That's the problem. So that's why people tell you to wait on quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is a perfect example. So I'm going to drive that home. This week it's Aaron Rodgers, but certainly I get it. We got tons of questions over here at YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. I always ignore you. Zay Jones or Jalen Richard, PPR. Can you believe Jalen Richard has yet to score a touchdown? He's one of the very few players that has over 500 yards of both rushing and passing, and he cannot score a touchdown. I don't know what the deal is there. That's the problem with him. But Zay Jones could be 0 points, could be 25 points. We don't know.
So Jalen Richard's the higher floor. If you need to play it safe, you know he's going to get the touches. You know he's going to get catches. And you go from there. Oh, you just blinked. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that you didn't freeze up there on me.
I mean, I'm still absorbing the fact that he could be one of the only players in the National Football history to have over 1,000 yards and 0 touchdowns on a season. I think there's a possibility he achieves that, which is unbelievable. Good morning, my favorite fantasy peeps. What up, Mike DaCosta? Pick 2 in PPR. We got Jeff Wilson, Chris Carson, Doug Martin, or Curtis Samuel. Thanks for all the help this year. What up?
Wilson and Carson for me.
I agree. It looks like Doug Martin is going to play, but we just don't care.
I don't care.
And also against Pittsburgh, it's not a good matchup. There's no upside here. No upside.
No, that's the thing. There is zero upside.
None.
In this. I mean, I got into it with Craig Mish, who's like, all Doug Martin does is score touchdowns. I'm like, he scored touchdowns in the last 2 games, dude. That's not all he does is score touchdowns.
What are we talking about?
Pump the brakes. I feel like, maybe there was like a little herb in there. He was treating his glaucoma. Maybe there was like an edible. I don't know. There was something amiss with Mish on that one.
Yeah, like that doesn't even make sense. Like, did he watch? Anyway, that actually did not happen, everybody. He is not a touchdown machine. You know, as a touchdown machine, my boyfriend Tyler Lockett. That is a touchdown
Lockett machine. Your other boyfriend, by the way, just so you know, we'll get to the full inactives in a little bit, but Joey Flacco, not active.
Really? So we're back on the
RG3. It's going to be RG3 and Lamar.
Oh, God. Well, that's really bad for them. I mean, now I'm out on a lot of Baltimore players here. This is a real issue. Moving on. Pick 1, wide receiver, 1 flex. Goodwin.
Ready to write it down?
Yeah, actually. Get your pencil, Howard.
It's a pen.
Oh, okay. 1 wide receiver, 1 flex. Goodwin, Sutton, Zay Jones, Dante Pettis, Wilson, Ware, Coleman. By the way, all of those people, minus Coleman and Goodwin, you did not draft. So congratulations on being active in your waiver wire.
Can we also, by the way, since we're doing the Cooks and the Samuels thing also, guys, please make sure that if you're asking about Chris Godwin or Marquise Goodwin, that you don't double tap that O in there by mistake as well.
I'm hoping this is just Goodwin.
I'm hoping too. All right, so what does he need from this
1 wide receiver and 1 flex. I think you start Cortland Sutton.
Yep. Agreed.
And Wilson.
Agreed.
It's like I know you. I know you.
It's like you're in my mind.
Would you do Njoku, Ware, or Coleman PPR? Thanks for everything, FA Nation.
Ware or Coleman? I guess here I would probably just do Ware. I don't like the matchup against Baltimore, but I mean, I friggin' hate Tevin Coleman. Like
another huge disappointment.
Hate Tevin Coleman.
And again, I said this on Thursday. If you get in my little crawl about like Devonta Freeman, I'm gonna be like, yo, if he would have stayed healthy, he was by far the better back. And now that has been proven. So let's just stop that. He was not a bad pick whatsoever. He just got hurt. And man, I feel even more confident about that now after this season. I'm like, oh no, I'm all in on this Freeman guy. Hey guys, thanks for both of you for what you do. Thanks for returning my Howard. I'll save you time on returning my tweet. Half point PPR, Samuel Ware Eckler.
How many does he need? 1?
Yeah.
I would go Eckler.
Yeah. And also, I got a pew, pew, pew. Awesome.
So who was that so I can ignore the tweet?
It says other. So I don't know. Just as other. Mike DaCosta says, tight end question, PPR, Reed or Engram?
I'm going to go with Evan Engram here.
You think so?
Listen.
You have to, because
if
we have
there's
Mark
no OBJ, who are they throwing to? It's either Shepard or it's Evan Engram. Oh, I'm sorry, maybe it's Russell Shepard too. But yeah, I mean, it's got to be one of those two guys there, right? So there's another one. I'm just gonna build a team here with Cooks, Samuels, Goodwin, Godwin, and this latest debacle.
Yeah, and Thomas,
Wilson.
Yeah, we got a lot going on here. We can keep going all day. Okay. I would say full point PPR, Brait or Gronk.
You know what? I mean,
but I hate myself because I hate both of them.
I can't sit Gronk. If Gronk is healthy and playing, I know that he's been terrible. I know he is, but his ceiling is still stupid high. It pisses me off.
Yeah, they're all terrible. The tight ends. Non-PPR need two: Mixon, Wilson, or Ware. Oh, I like that they put Wilson Jr. Clear. I mean, if it was nice instead of Russell Wilson, I guess.
Yes.
Although I'd play Russell Wilson out of those three.
Who's Williams Jr.? Is it Mike Williams Jr. and Tyrell Williams? I've been getting a lot of Williams Jr.'s in there.
Oh.
Yeah, right? They're really annoying. I think we're going with the not Spencer Ware on that last question.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So we'll do Mixon and Wilson.
Yeah, Mixon and Wilson. Mixon was taken off the injury report, so that puts me on him a little bit more. I don't love him, but out of those choices there, I would use him.
Agreed. So I'm seeing Williams Jr. as just Harry Williams Jr., so that can't be right.
Oh, I'm going to start Harry Williams everywhere.
Yeah, I think you should totally start Harry Williams. It's a great idea. 2-quarterback league, Ryan, Watson, Trubisky. Right now I'm starting Watson and Trubisky.
And that's what you should keep doing.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. Start Jordan Reed or pick up Engram. We're going Engram regardless. So yeah, we're saying do Engram. Yep. Because Mark Sanchez, we'll just keep saying his name and hope it sinks deep into our souls. Non-PPR question, flex, Mark Ingram or Justin Jackson. I do have Kamara, also Mayfield or Trubisky. I'd go Trubisky. Mm-hmm. Ingram or Jackson, I'd probably go Jackson.
I'd go Jackson if you're starting Kamara. Yeah, I'd definitely go Jackson.
And then just hope and pray Kamara just kills it. Howard, I love that hoodie. Where did you get it? Oh, look at you. Fashion.
Old Navy.
Nice. Okay. Everyone go get it.
Listen,
you don't know?
It's either Old Navy or Target. Listen, I work from home. I live in this shed basically. So I gotta be honest with you, fashion, not my strong suit here. Right. Not by any stretch of the imagination.
All right. Do we have the inactives yet?
Oh, let me take a look here. Let me take a little gander here. Oh, yep. Apparently we do have them in here. Okay. Matt Sells is telling me that we have them. Would you like to hear them right now, or do you want to go one more question?
Let's do one more question. We've got PPR flex, Landry, Fitzgerald, Carson, or Samuels. I think you go Samuels here.
Yep. I'll go Samuels.
Yeah.
All right.
That was an easy one, right? I just knocked it out. Pew.
Yeah.
Pew, pew.
Pew, pew. Pew. All right. Carolina, Cleveland. Graham Gano is inactive. Travaris Cadet is inactive as well. Nobody really there. Denzel Ward is inactive for the Browns. We kind of knew that was coming, but Terrence Mitchell is back, so that's going to actually kind of bolster that secondary a little bit there for the Brownies. New Orleans against Tampa Bay. Dan Arnold, everybody's favorite cheap tight end, is inactive.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Yep. You own him? Like everybody's like jumping on him.
Oh God. Oh, those 8 crazy nights.
Oh, there you go. Blame the Jews again. Brandon Marshall also inactive for the Saints. On the
God.
Bucs
Why
side,
do
we knew
why don't-
Deshaun Jackson was out. Carlton Davis, the defensive back, he is still out of action there as well. So that's going to make the Saints look good. I don't know. Giants, Redskins. Odell Beckham officially inactive today, people. Sorry.
Official.
On the Redskins side, Capri Bibbs, Samaje Perine, both inactive here. Colt McCoy is sick, dying, and dead. All right, Colts, Texans. Dontrell Inman is inactive. Mo Alley Cox inactive for the Colts as well. T.Y. Hilton is active, people. T.Y. Hilton, active. For the Texans, Kiki Kute is inactive. Sorry, I was getting ahead of myself because I was trying to hold back the laughter from the fact that Donta Foreman is also inactive today.
Oh, are you sure?
Oh, yeah, I know. Everybody loves Donta Foreman. Oh, my God. I think the best part was when somebody was like, do I start Donta Foreskin? Probably not. So Kiki Kute and Donta Foreman are out.
Every time.
You always start the foreskin. Ravens Chiefs. This is what happens when I don't sleep. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. Lowest common denominator for humor. That's where it's all at here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sorry. Dick and fart jokes, and when in doubt, yell at Brandon for blaming the Jews.
Yeah. Hey, crazy nice. That was one of my favorite skits on Saturday Night Live ever.
Oh my God, it was the best.
The best. Right? It was the best. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Thank you, Adam Sandler, for helping us out a little bit.
Right. We need it.
Joe Flacco inactive for the Ravens. Nobody else really of any consequence. For the Chiefs, Eric Berry continues to be inactive. Aw, man. Kelvin Benjamin, a.k.a. Sammy Watkins 2, is out, and so is Sammy Watkins 1. They're both out. Sharkandrick West is inactive today, people. So if you were worried about Spencer Ware getting all that work poached, not happening.
Guys, and signing Sharkandrick West meant that they actually do believe in Spencer Ware, because they could have signed C.J. Anderson, and they did not. FYI.
Because C.J. Anderson sucks at football.
Well, he's more of a runner than Sharkandrick West. Sharkandrick West is like a passing game only fill-in dude. He's not a take over the job dude.
Neither C.J. Anderson.
But he's more Ware-esque.
Take your Broncos hat off. Take it off.
It is off. He didn't even get a chance this year. He went over 1,000 yards last year. So my thinking cap is on. Is what's going on.
All right. Well, you and Jake Seeley can pound that drum for C.J. Anderson some more.
I don't pound a drum for him. I'm saying that if they really did not believe in Ware, they would have signed C.J. Anderson. I have 0% doubt on that.
I'm still on the inactives, Brandon. Stop interrupting.
Go for it. Sorry, I'm just being real.
Are you? Oh, my God. Somebody kill me now for the Falcons. Giorgio Tavecchio's out, which means that Matt Bryant is in. Logan Paulson, the backup tight end, he is out. For the Packers, Brian Bulaga, offensive lineman, he is officially out for this game. So is Lane Taylor, the offensive guard. Jets, Bills, the entire Jets team is inactive. They've forfeited the game, and they've decided we suck at football. We gone.
And it's the Bills that really put them over the edge.
Yeah, exactly. There's nobody of any consequence on the Jets side who is out. And there's really actually nobody on the Bills side who's out. Like Derek Anderson is inactive. Oh, Jason Kroom. If you were looking at that tight end dart throw, that's not happening.
Best of luck.
Patriots, Dolphins. Excuse me. Dwayne Allen is inactive for the Patriots. Nobody else there. Xavier Howard officially inactive, but we knew that was coming for the Dolphins. Get your shares of Josh Gordon. Get him. Oh, really? Is that it? That's it. That's it for the inactives.
That's it.
Back to you, Brandon.
Thank you. You guys, if you want to play with us, the Fantasy Football Crew, you can play at Fantasy Factor. Go to fantasyalarm.com/factor contest. That's fantasyalarm.com/factor contest. It's 100% single entry, super fun. And if you own the Playbook Pro, we actually support Fantasy Factor in our tools so we can help you create winning lineups. It's awesome. Again, come play with us and have some fun. It's fantasyalarm.com/factor contest. fantasyalarm.com/factor contest. All right, guys, back to your questions. Boop, boop, boop. Football and PPR. Jalen Samuels, Michelle, Spencer Ware, pick 2.
All right, I'm gonna say Jalen Samuels and Sony Michel here, but I'm curious as to your thoughts on this Patriots backfield right now. Just in the sense of it is Miami. To me, you got to run it up the gut against Miami. Like that's how you do it.
With your fullback.
Well, only at the goal line. Yes, we can take a Devlin on top of their value a little bit later. But like, I mean, who do you see getting the better workload here? Do you like Michelle or James White more?
I think I like Michelle. I think James White has entered reserve for playoff mode.
Okay.
A little worried about that because he is the playoff MVP. You always start James White in the playoff DFS lineup 100% of the time. 100%. I think Michelle, they're going to kind of I think they get Rex Burkhead involved. That's why I don't love this, but I still think Michelle will get enough volume for a good thing here. I think Ware has to score a touchdown to be as fantasy relevant as the other two. And I'm just not quite sure what they're going to do against the Ravens.
I agree.
Yeah, so that's why I'd go with those two as well. But they're all three pretty comparable to me, actually. I think they all – listen, I'm worried that Jalen Samuels is going to have a Spencer Ware week.
I'll take 47 yards and a touchdown from Jalen Samuels today.
That's right.
I'll take that.
But I don't want you to come back at me and be like, oh, but he's not James Conner. No, he's not. I want to make sure we're all clear. Jalen Samuels is not James Conner. So we're all on the same page. Spencer Ware is not Kareem Hunt. So we're all on the same page. But we're looking for fill-ins.
Stop sleeping on Stephen Ridley. Stop it. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but I think Ridley's the same way. He has to get a touchdown. We're looking for 40 yards and a touchdown from these guys. If we get that, we're successful. Okay? So don't come tweeting at me like, I can't believe it's Thomas Sport this guy. Yeah, well, they're starting running back in the National Football League, and it's week 14, and everyone else is dead. So we're into it. Cousins has never had a good run game. I'm not going to be here to make excuses for Cousins.
Well, does he have one now? No.
Yeah, I mean, well... Well, Latavius Murray had a couple good games. I mean, like the idea that like there's no run game is not true. It's not like no run game here. It's just not a great run game. But plenty of quarterbacks are successful without a run game. I just feel like I don't know. I feel fine about Cousins. I'm saying from a perspective of what the potential was with his weapons. He's a huge disappointment. Cousins needs to start looking for anyone other than Thielen. That's his problem. He does. He goes to Diggs all the time. Has his first read every time.
Whoever's I guarantee whoever's atting you on those comments right there is wearing a Kirk Cousins jersey right now.
Yeah.
Like a Redskins Cousins jersey.
Right. That's what's underneath this black thing here. Allen or Goff. That's why I'm so disappointed. I'm so a fan. Allen or Goff going up against Gurley and Kamara today. Need all the help I can get. Yes, you do. I would go. I think you have to go Allen. Or I mean Goff. I mean, I know Allen has higher upside, but if Allen reverts into the dude that we see a lot, we got a problem. If he doesn't have that run game, we got a problem. Goff has a higher floor, like by a long shot, and he could explode for 360 yards. We don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? Like, I think that we know against the Bears. I think we know where Goff is going to be. And I think that if you're playing against Alvin Kamara and Todd Gurley today, like, I mean, if you're playing against both of them, I mean, that's, listen, you can rely on the Bears defense all you want. It's still Todd Gurley. I know that a lot of people are fading him, especially in DFS because of that.
And that's fine.
But Kamara, I mean, you're talking about, again, it could be a sloppy field there, but I mean, they're two of the premier backs. They're two elites right there. So I feel like you got to go with the upside of of getting the rushing yards out of Josh Allen. So,
Yeah,
so we'll differ on that. It's not a big deal. Should we go to a tiebreaker? Should we ask John and Pemba?
Sure, absolutely. I do want to say the best matchup for the Rams this week against the Bears is at wide receiver.
Oh yeah, I agree.
So
Robert Woods. We're on Robert Woods.
So we're all over Robert Woods, like butter on bread. What up in Pemba?
Hey, what's going on? What was the question?
You can hear it repeat.
You're not paying attention, dude?
I'm making sure things are going right.
All right. Well, that's your job, I guess. But we're going for Josh Allen or Jared Goff with upside because he's playing against Gurley and Kamara.
I'm going with Josh Allen.
Really?
You are a woman alone on an island.
All right.
You are the hashtag misfit toy.
Here's my thing is that I'm down with you doing Josh Allen. I just feel like Josh Allen's a better like DFS play because it's like, if it doesn't hit, it doesn't hit. But for like a season long, it would just make me nervous to be like, yeah, I totally think Josh Allen over Jared Goff.
Which name sounds more Jewish to you? Josh Allen or Jared Goff?
I don't know. Should I know?
No, I'm just being a douche.
Okay. 8 crazy nights. Standard League. Listen, I'm the one who's in New York, baby. I've been celebrating Hanukkah all week. It's like amazing. And by the way, also everywhere I go, there's a menorah that's like showing me that the week passed, and I just completely didn't pay attention to life. I'm like, oh my God, that many candles are lit? Am I the only one who's like shocked by that? Anyway, good morning from Canada. What up? Full point PPR, I need 2 of these. Lamar Miller, T.Y. Hilton, Jimmy Graham. Tight ends are awarded an extra 5 points for a touchdown. Jeez.
Yeah. Does that mean that that suddenly Aaron Rodgers is going to look for Jimmy Graham more?
No, but like, why would you add 5 extra points for a touchdown? Then you're only doing touchdown-dependent tight ends, and it's weird scoring, dude. Gotta talk to your commish about that. I go Lamar Miller here.
Me too.
Yeah, just it's so steady with him. Non-PPR, Uzama, Ian Thomas, or pick up Evan Engram. I know they're all bad options. I need one. I just think you pick up Evan Engram.
Agreed.
I know Ian Thomas had one good week, but I'm not in. Happy playoffs, all. 14 PPR. We got lost OBJ, only have Baldwin on the bench. Who should I pick up on the waiver wire? Bruce Ellington, Mohamed Sanu, Traquan Smith, or Zay Jones?
Ew! Really? David Moore's not there? Why isn't David Moore there? Man, that is just a gross group of people.
Yeah, if you
there.
get David Moore and you just don't see it, do that. That's the first thing. Second thing is I might go Zay Jones.
Seems like the play. Everyone's making.
I think I go Zay Jones here. I think my second place one is Bruce Ellington. In a full point PPR, he's just gotten way too many catches for me to ignore. And at least you'd have a high floor. You'd fill in with someone that you know is going to get a minimum of 6 fantasy points. The other guys, they could get 0, and I would be 0% shocked. 0 points is their floor. Bruce Ellington's floor is like 6 points. So, but he's not a high ceiling guy at all. So you're going to get 6 to 11 points with him, and the other guys you could get 20, but you're not going to get 20 from him. So there you go. It depends on what you need. Tevin Coleman, Frank Gore, or Rexington, Burkhead. Yuck. Is it weird that I might go Gore?
Over who's the second choice again?
Tevin Coleman or Rex Burkhead?
No, I don't think it would be weird to go Gore here. I really don't. They've really kind of split that up where he's the early down back and Kenyon Drake has turned into the pass catcher. I mean, again, it's a matter of like I understand that it's a nice matchup for Tevin Coleman on paper, but again, he's just been garbage.
He's blown it on nice matchups a lot. So, all right, we're going to try to speed through these. We got so many questions. We got like 5 minutes. Traquan Smith, Spencer Ware, Calvin Ridley, or DJ Moore, non-PPR flex option. I'll repeat that. Traquan Smith, Spencer Ware, Calvin Ridley, DJ Moore.
I'll go Spencer Ware.
Okay. Rivers or Rogers? I think I go Rivers. I don't know how you say Rivers now.
Yeah, I like Rivers slightly more than Rogers here.
But I like both.
I do like both.
Yeah, I just think Rivers might be a little safer. 2 questions. Mayfield or Cousins?
Mayfield.
Okay. I agree with that. Need one. By the way, Mayfield too is a guy that I'm going to target in late round next year all over the place. Need one. Adrian Peterson, Robert Woods, Jordan Howard, Lamar Miller, Spencer Ware. I think it has to be Lamar Miller. Or no, it has to be Robert Woods. Right?
I mean,
Robert Woods or Lamar Miller, I'm sure, because we've had these conversations.
yeah, it's one of the two, and I always lean to the running back, especially when you see as heavy a heavier run game as they're doing there in Houston right now. And Lamar Miller's got like 300-yard games in his last 6.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think you have to go one of those two. Lamar Miller's a great choice with this higher floor. Do I roll with Winston today or not? My other options, I have the option for Goff or Trubisky in a league or Dak in another over him. Okay, I would go with Goff or Trubisky over them. I'd probably go Trubisky over Winston today, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of still on the Winston trail here.
Really? Okay, and you'd play him over Dak against the Eagles.
See, that I'm a little torn on. Like that. I like Dak's floor here. Like I like Dak's floor a lot. So I guess I'm kind of leaning towards Dak in the second matchup.
If you need a higher floor, yeah, we like Dak a lot. Would you play Rivers over Mahomes, or am I just crazy? I would go Mahomes, but I like both of them a lot this week, and I don't think you're crazy for asking.
Yeah, I mean, listen, because of the matchup here against the Ravens. I mean, if you look at what Mahomes did against tougher defenses, it hasn't been, the lights out phenomenal.
No. But with Cincinnati, they could pull Rivers late. I mean, it's Cincinnati.
Yeah, they could.
I think he'll score a lot of points at the beginning, but I think there's a cap.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you're right. It's the Bengals.
They're just terrible. Wilson Jr. or Jalen Samuels?
Ooh. I mean, I think I would go Wilson Jr. here.
Okay.
Because I think he's the featured guy. I'm more worried about Stephen Ridley poaching goal line carries than I am about Alfred Morris or Matt Days poaching work from Wilson.
I can support that. Chris Godwin or Brandon Cooks, non-PPR.
Oof, I love Godwin's matchup. I do.
Yeah, on upside, I'd go with him. David Moore over Ellington and Zay.
Yeah.
I mean,
especially if Baldwin's out.
A healthy scratch. Wow. Okay. Pick 3. I don't think you need a pencil. Here we go. Mark Ingram, Joe Mixon, Dalvin Cook, Adrian Peterson, Jalen Samuels, Nick Chubb, non-PPR. We know we want Chubb and Mixon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we have one more between Ingram, Dalvin Cook, Adrian Peterson, which I'm ruling out, and Jalen Samuels. I think I would go Jalen.
I agree. I would go Jalen Samuels as well as the third guy there. But definitely Mixon and Chubb, 100%.
Would you do PPR Hooper or Ingram?
Again, I'm going to go with Ingram here.
Say for floor, would you do Boyd or Galladay?
It's always not Galladay, so it's Boyd.
Always not Galladay. I like it. Breeze in bad weather or Lamar Jackson?
Breeze in bad weather.
Agreed.
With one leg and no arms.
Right. I know he had an 8-point game last week, and everyone's freaking out. Me too, by the way. He actually screwed me in 2 leagues where I needed the win to be in the playoffs, and I'm still hurting from this whole thing. But the point is that I would still go with him. Adams from the Eagles or Jones from Buffalo in the flex? I'd go Adams.
I go Adams here. Yep.
Bills D or Chargers? Oof. That's tough.
I'm going to go with the Bills D here because I think that, I think that the Bengals can play a safer, smarter game with short passes, and I think that they can run the ball more. I think Sam Darnold is he's going to be up in Buffalo in that cold. Isaiah Crowell is not 100%. Elijah McGuire might get a little extra work there. I think that could be turnover central there for the Jets.
Disturbing. Would you play Rex Burkhead or Jalen Richard? I got to go Richard.
Jalen Richard, yeah, definitely.
Playoff time, Mitch or Cousins, 6-point touchdown, or would you pick up Baker Mayfield or Josh Allen?
Mitchie. Trubisky.
Yeah, you don't want to carry 3 quarterbacks. I'm not quite sure you want to drop anyone. Although I may drop Cousins for Baker Mayfield the rest of the season.
I like where your head's at, Brandon.
I just think he's very good. Very good, guys. 3 spots here to fill. Non-PPR, Dalvin Cook, Joe Mixon, Wilson Jr., or Justin Jackson. So sit 1. I think I sit Justin.
Yeah, it's close. I'm almost tempted just to sit Dalvin Cook, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, he doesn't inspire confidence.
He really has not inspired confidence, and that Seattle defense, the Seattle run defense, has actually been a little better lately. So I'm going to go bold here, and I'm going to sit Dalvin Cook.
I like it. Okay, half point PPR. Would you go Spencer Ware, Sony Michel, Dalvin Cook, or Tariq Cohen? Only one of those guys you can play.
If it's PPR, I'm going to go Tariq Cohen. If it's standard, I'm going to go Sony Michel.
It's half point. And we have no answer for you. No, listen, I think if you want, I think probably Tariq Cohen has a PPR upside here. Because they have to throw the ball against the Rams. They have to throw the ball. That just is unacceptable to not do that. So I would go with him by a hair over Sony Michel. I agree with you, though. If it was non-PPR completely, Michel's just so easy right now. Full point PPR, I need 1 wide receiver. Zay Jones, Demaryius Thomas, or Josh Reynolds.
I'm going Demaryius Thomas here.
Graham Holt, this is my cousin-in-law. Should I start Winston and Evans or Wentz and Jeffries? I'd go Winston and Evans.
Me too.
Yeah, you got to do it. Would you go Goff or Rodgers?
Rodgers.
Beautiful. And would you go Brait or Ingram? We're going Ingram everywhere. I just want to put that out there. Would you go Demaryius Thomas, Bruce Ellington, Marquise Goodwin, or Jordy Nelson?
We'll go Demaryius Thomas again.
Okay.
I think that Colts secondary is trash. I do.
Yeah, it's not good. Really struggling with my last wide receiver spot. T.Y., Ridley, or Godwin? PPR. I think I go Godwin.
Godwin, yeah.
Godwin. Guys, but this is the way it is. Derrick Henry dropped 148 points in one of my leagues. Guys, I hate these leagues. I want to say this again. Guys, this is the point of time where you talk to your commissioner. If you are in a league where a player can ever get 148 points, that is too many bonuses. That is not okay. Do not do this, because then you're just like, what is even fun playing in this? Like, what is the fun? He's like, I benched him for Zay Jones this week. Well, you know what? You benched Derrick Henry because he's playing the Jaguars and he's been trash all season. This is the problem, is that if you go up against someone who's scoring crazy points, it's not even fun. It's not fun when one guy can score that many points. So anyway, just too weighted in the bonuses. I'm just putting that out. Captain Kirk or Josh Allen? We're going Allen. Yep. Would you go Justin Jackson or Eckler?
PPR. I'll go
point PPR.
Of course it is. Justin Jackson.
Really?
Yep.
So pound for pound, you think Justin Jackson's going to score more fantasy points than Austin Eckler this week?
I do.
All right. Waiting for my sourdough. All right.
Waiting for your address.
Oh.
Just give it to me right here on the live stream.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
And your phone number, please, and your social security number, and your PIN, please.
And my birthday. We're going Woods all the time over Galladay, just putting that out there. Winston in wet conditions or Watson? I would go Watson regardless.
I would, yes, Watson.
Watson's the top play this week. Would you play Watson or Trubisky, non-PPR? I think I'd go Watson again.
Watson.
Full point PPR, Mark Ingram or DJ Moore?
Mark Ingram.
Godwin or Cooks?
Godwin.
Washington, Dallas, New York Giants, or Texans D?
I like the Texans D a bunch. I do. I think they create turnovers, but the Giants are tempting.
Yeah.
The Giants are tempting.
Yes. You do not play Washington's defense when they have Sanchez on the other side. Listen, you do have to sometimes pay attention to the offense on the same team of defense, because if they have to be on the field all the time, it really negatively affects them. And I'm not going to do the Cowboys against Philadelphia, because even though, you guys, yes, Dallas defense has been much better, but also that was the game in which Carson Wentz had the most passing yards of the year was against Dallas just in week 10. And Zach Ertz scored 2 touchdowns and went for 145 yards in that same game. So I'm not doing the Cowboys either. I'm going Giants or Texans, and you can kind of flip a coin on that one. Would you go Lockett or Humphreys?
Ooh. I guess I would go. Well, is Lockett going to see Xavier Rhodes the entire time? Do we talk? Have we looked into his shadow there? Let me look and see.
I mean, I think this is also like, does Doug Baldwin play?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really matter to me because Lockett just does like weird things on one play. That's his game. I think Humphreys is I think if it was PPR, I would go Humphreys, and non-PPR, I think I go Lockett here.
I'll go with that one too.
Yeah, but I do like both these plays, and they should be in all your lineups if possible. So there you go, guys. We are out of here. We went a little bit over because we started a little bit late, and we are good to go. So, guys, it's playoff time. Go have fun. And yes, you know what I love? We didn't even get close to all the questions because FA Nation made it to the playoffs. Okay? There is just as much participation today as there was 3 weeks ago, which is awesome. So we appreciate you. I just want to say thank you. If we did not get to your questions, because as I said, killing it in the playoffs, everybody. Go to fantasyalarm.com right now. We have the chat open. Do you have anything else to say, Howard, to the whole group and love and
big hugs, kisses. I love you all. And yeah, fantasyalarm.com/chat. Go into the chat room there. They're answering questions for the next 42 minutes.
Go do it. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.